Hello everybody and welcome to Parks Bros. It's Drew here, and today we have some incredibly exciting news out of Six Flags corporate specifically, as they've officially announced they're going to be spending over $1 billion in the next 2 years at their 42 different properties. On the West Coast, it is currently the wee hours of the morning of November 14th, 2024, and we got some pretty exciting news from Six Flags Corporate in Charlotte, North Carolina, which, if you hadn't heard, is technically Cedar Fair and Six Flags as one corporation now. And we've officially got a little glimpse at their master plan going forward in the next 2 years. Now, when this idea was first proposed last November, it was said that there was going to be an extra $200 million in money being put into the parks every single year. At least that was what they were hoping to save up and spend on the parks. Flash forward to today, Richard Zimmerman, their CEO, reinforced the idea of that and more with their capital investment plans going forward. As of right now, they're looking at spending $500 million and $525 million in both 2025 and 2026 respectively. This is going to anything new and even helping fund the old, with just $80 million being said to be spent on food and beverage upgrades, and I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg. There has been a lot of skepticism of this merger over the past year or so, especially from coaster enthusiasts like myself, as usually when companies merge, they end up trimming off the things that they feel they don't need. They slim down and cut a lot of things. Now, we've seen the start of that as of the past couple of weeks, with rides like La Vibora at Six Flags Over Texas officially being demolished, and Green Lantern over at Six Flags Great Adventure getting the boot as well. And there's been some pretty rampant rumors that Kingda, the tallest and fastest coaster in the world, at least that's operating currently. Don't get me wrong, they still haven't technically confirmed or denied whether Kingda will be fully operational next year, but the permits for demolition have been filed for 3 different Great Adventure rides, and of course La Vibora, which is already halfway gone. And to be completely honest, that's probably just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to rides being taken out of the parks' portfolios, as there are many more rumors sprouting up at different parks, including Carowinds and even Canada's Wonderland. Future Drew popping in real quick. I literally just finished recording the audio. It has been confirmed that Kingda will be removed and replaced with this multi-record breaking launch coaster in 2026. So, unfortunately, I will not be able to experience the King of Coasters. But it only leads into the idea that I was talking about with this merger ending up trimming some of that fat off that the chain has, especially when it's a ride that costs so much year over year. So I figured I'd just pop in real quick just to make sure everybody knows Kingda is officially no more, as well as the park's Skyway, which is really another bummer. That park especially will be feeling the effects of the merger more than most. Anyway, I'll send it back to Past Drew. Now, this announcement comes on the precipice of a couple of different announcements for 2025 that have already occurred, including Siren's Curse opening up at Cedar Point, a brand new Vekoma tilt coaster, and Alpen Fury at Canada's Wonderland, a crazy-looking premier launch coaster. And of course, we can't forget the re-theming and reimagining of Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion. We always knew this was going to be an immense time for change between the 2 largest chains in the theme park industry in North America, at least in terms of individual properties. And even though the merger only officially went through in early July of this year, we have seen some pretty crazy mix-ups already, and we really haven't even gotten into the full first year of this merger. With one of the most intriguing things for us theme park fans, an all-park passport add-on to the passes, giving us the option to visit all 40 plus of those properties under one pass. It's kind of insane. But again, there's a lot of uncertainty going forward in terms of random ride closures like we've already seen, price changes, and potentially the cutting of spending on some very iconic motifs, IP, or other things in the chains. I've gotten a little sidetracked talking about the merger and then all of these rumors, so let's go back into what this Business Wire article states, and that's the brand new capital investments planned for 2026. Isn't that wild to think about? We're not even at the end of 2024 officially yet, and they're already announcing at least what types of attractions the parks are getting in 2026. Now, this list includes a handful of parks from both of the legacy chains and features anything from a new water park edition up to a record-breaking roller coaster or two. It's going to be very interesting going through all this, so let's start with Carowinds. It said they will be introducing a record-breaking water ride. Pretty open-ended. We're not entirely sure what that is yet, but that's kind of how most of these announcements already are listed. Canada's Wonderland, off the back of Alpen Fury, will be adding a new record-breaking water attraction. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the difference between a record-breaking water ride and record-breaking water attraction is, but I can only assume that one of them will be at the water park and the other won't. Kings Island will be getting another thrill attraction, but a family thrill attraction. Knott's Berry Farm technically isn't receiving anything my home park, but Knott's Soak City will be receiving a water park refresh and aesthetic enhancements, which I'm very curious to see how that goes because I've literally been basing my brand new water park in Planet Coaster 2 off of Soak City. So if they're getting a bunch of enhancements aesthetically, am I going to have to change my Planet Coaster 2 water park in a couple years? Now, my other home Six Flags park is Six Flags Magic Mountain, and that will be debuting a first-of-its-kind coaster in North America, which is absolutely exciting. We all know where that's going to be. It's in the plot of the old Golden Bear Theater next to Bugs Bunny World. And we were thinking it was originally planned for 2025, but almost immediately after, Universal Studios Hollywood announced that Hollywood Drift would be opening in 2026, it seemed like construction stopped. And now it's nice to know that it will also be opening in 2026. So 2026 is going to be crazy for LA, hosting a couple World Cup games and 2 potentially first-of-their-kind roller coasters in North America. It's gonna be crazy. Hopping all the way to Illinois now for Six Flags Great America, it will be celebrating its 50th anniversary, debuting a new kids area and having a couple different park enhancements as well as events, which I will say that is kind of crazy to think about, that it's been 50 years since both the Great America parks opened. However, no announcement, unfortunately, for the 50th anniversary of California's Great America, the sister park, as the land underneath it has been sold in the past. So it makes more sense that they're not going to be celebrating it that much, but it is kind of a shame. Going all the way to New Jersey now to Six Flags Great Adventure, the talk of the town the past couple weeks in the coaster community, it will unveil a record-breaking launch coaster. Now, my question is, does this have to do with the markers outside of Kingda? However, it seems like this potential record-breaking launch coaster might involve that area at the least. And if you want more info on that project, as well as updates on Great Adventure itself, make sure to go check out the Coaster Spot and El Toro Orion. Now, this is incredibly intriguing, if you ask me. This is probably going in the spot of La Vibora at Six Flags Over Texas. They're unleashing, that's right, that's the word they used, a record-breaking dive coaster. So we're going to be seeing the second dive coaster in the state of Texas, and it will be record-breaking in some way. It makes me curious what records they might be breaking there. There is currently a new B&M dive coaster planned for Six Flags Great America for 2025. So I'm very interested to see if this one at Over Texas is going to be breaking the record for steepness, height, or maybe even inversions. And man, it's going to be wild. By 2026, there's going to be 2 B&M dive coasters and a Vekoma tilt coaster in the state of Texas. And the final of this list includes Six Flags Mexico. They will be introducing a family thrill boomerang coaster, which I think is really nice for that park. Although I will still stand by the idea that Siren's Curse going to Cedar Point instead of staying in Mexico is just really weird and honestly sucks, especially for the people visiting Six Flags Mexico, because that ride looks insane, and honestly, Cedar Point does not need it. But there you have it. That is everything that was announced this morning. I still can't believe it. I'm so glad I'm an insomniac. Well, maybe not glad, but it is nice when these early morning announcements on the East Coast come through. And my goodness, 2026 is going to be insane if all of these announcements end up happening. I'm curious to see if any of them might be cut. Obviously, when it comes to theme park planning, usually these projects are planned really far in advance. I mean 4, 5, maybe even 6 years in some cases. So it makes me extra curious how many of these projects have been kind of rushed through the pipeline with the merger officially happening, and how many of them were planned before. But with that all said, I want to say thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. It's going to be a crazy couple of years, and I can't wait to get to hopefully most of these parks within the next couple of years. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate that as well. We're going to have more news and updates from theme parks, especially in Southern California, and some more Planet Coaster and Planet Coaster 2 videos as well. So if any of that sounds nice, make sure to subscribe. But with that all said, thank you all so much again for watching. I really do appreciate it. And until the next time, we'll see you on the next ride.